Remember, it takes a few
Yeah, I love
seconds
that.
to go live on. Right, we're already on YouTube,
Hmm.
and we're about to
Yes.
go be live on
So,
Facebook. Just give it a second. Just
okay.
starting.
Well,
Right, we are now
yeah.
live.
Welcome everyone everywhere to the Elite Thinking Club. I'm Jules, Julien, and I'm joined tonight by my co-host. You guys all right?
Oh yeah.
Happy days. Yeah, so you know what? It's been a while since we've been live, and right now, guys, we're live on the Facebook, live on the YouTube, and I'm live on TikTok as well. Um, guys, I miss you. I miss you. I haven't seen you in. You know what I mean? It's only been 2 weeks, but I feel like it's been a long time. You know what I mean? Because we would be
It
going
does feel
live
like
all
it.
the time. You know what I
We were
mean? It just
concerned.
Yeah.
feels
We
like
felt like you'd moved to Australia and we'd left us.
nah, I could never move to Australia. I mean, I'd go on holiday, but I wouldn't be able to move to Australia. You know, I'm too. Do you want to know something, guys? I feel like I'm too British, right, to do anything. And when I mean that, I had this conversation with someone earlier this week about how British people. It's hard to explain, but we ain't got a culture, and that's what makes our culture. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
I
we
don't
kind of
know.
nick it
Yeah.
from other cultures.
Yeah, like we have a culture, but we don't have a culture. Anyway, um, and also as well, obviously, I had to go through a phase of focus. I won't even pretend to you guys. It's been challenging. Like I'm not the only one. I'm not speaking like I'm the only one here. Of course, like we all going now, but it's just I feel like there's so much more pressure now to try and stay. Like, the bar just keeps getting raised with like they can't do us with a pandemic 2 years later, then they're going to hit us with fuel prices and energy prices. And when I say they, I am still convinced that there is a ruling elite that knows shit that we don't know and they control things. Do you get what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And do
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like manipulating of the minds, like we're too, they dumb us down so we don't figure it out. But I seriously believe that a lot of people are figuring it out. Do you know what I mean? If you're not watching already, guys, oh, you haven't done so already, guys, hit the like, hit the subscribe button on the YouTube and the Facebook, and obviously, because we're the Elite Thinking Club, right? And we literally critical think. That's what we're about. So we got a Discord channel. If you hadn't done so, you know, click the links in the descriptions and follow us on Discord and have a conversation with us. But basically, we know that in order to critical think, you have to explore because you cannot understand something unless you're willing to explore it, and you cannot, yeah, unless if you're not willing to explore it. But you can
It's
tell it,
been
don't it? There's
too
no
long. It's been
been
too
too long.
long.
I'm like muffling my words. Ah, I do
I thought
miss
you
you
had it
guys.
written down, to be
I
fair.
do
I didn't
miss
know
you
you
guys.
listened to it. I thought you had
Yeah,
it all written down.
for real. Oh, look there. Do you want to know something? TikTok
Always.
followers are like they're powerful people. Your vibe attracts your tribe. Trust that. Your vibe attracts your tribe. Um, so yeah,
Love
like I
that.
was talking about, when we've had this conversation before, and we're talking about focus and drive. I won't even pretend. Like right now, I'm like I'm on a real tough stage of, well, you guys know it, and I've already said it to my followers as well. Obviously, I practice the art of semen retention, and in this day and age, it's the most critical thing that I believe most men need to undergo the practice to learn more about us as men and masculine climate where we are so overly exposed to thirst traps and pornography and sex and nudity. It's we're vulnerable. That's what I'm saying. We're vulnerable. And not only that, and I know we've had these conversations. The system is rigged against us because a dog or a baby, or a child, people have unconditional love for you. But when you're a man, it's very important that you don't play the blame game, but you need to assert yourself and have focus on your purpose. Do you get what I mean? And you guys know that. So
Hmm.
I'm on the stage at the moment. Like the cold shower stage. Fuck my life. It's getting tough. I can't even pretend. And yeah, man, I just wanted to let you guys know. That's why I
How
feel
many
this
days
way.
are you
And
in?
look at it. Go on, Michael.
How many days are you in at the moment?
I'm coming up to my 10th day. So
Fucking hell.
yeah, it's fucking doing me in, man. Like, but I know once I get past the 14th day, I'm in a good state. It's just it's the critical point. Don't get me wrong. The hardest days are the first 3 days. Once you break that, you need to go into your physical training. Then you need to go into your cold showers. Then once it does that, you're in a good state. But this is where the kicker is, right? For most people that don't know, the kicker is when you do get to like day 20 of like the semen retention, you will not believe the law of attraction that kicks in. It's fucking unreal. Like, people actually don't know this. Many people don't know this, but most blokes, focused men, like that pretty much dominate all areas of their life, understand this. There's a guy called Napoleon Hill. He wrote a book called Think and Grow Rich. And in one of the very first chapters, he even says about sexual energy transmutation and talks about retention. It's a powerful thing. I don't want to go too deep into it, but anyway, yeah, bro, I am at the moment going through it, and it's like, fucking hell.
What's the opposite of
you
retention?
Can do it.
Doing my best, Liz. It's hard. It's like, you know what I mean? Titties and ass everywhere. And I'm like, fuck's sake, like, why can't I just live like my granddad used to and just not get so overly exposed to fucking nudity? Do you know what I mean? Porn. And it's really bad.
Social media as well. It's
you know
just
what I mean?
Everywhere, isn't it? Instagram, you're just like scrolling. I did the other day. I felt like I was watching some sex show. It was like people kissing on Instagram. Then there was bikinis. There was so yeah, I won't say any more because I don't want you to visualize it. But yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Sex is like sexual attraction is a huge motivator for some people, but it isn't like gonna do you any favors. You can't spend sex. Yeah, you can't invest in sex. Men who aren't focused on anything or have any purpose will channel themselves into things that just aren't beneficial. And I mean this with my heart. Like, you can't build loving, strong bonds and connections when it's nothing but, if you will, glorified masturbation. If you're not actually building a relationship, you're just using it for pleasure, then it ain't nothing. You know what I mean? It comes, it goes. It isn't anything. And you'll be constantly chasing it because, you know, like how addictions are very hard to overcome. Like, addictions are like, you know, you could be addicted to alcohol, drugs, you could be addicted to people, you could be addicted to work. Some people are addicted to the gym, and there's some positive addictions, but then there's some real negative ones. And unfortunately, we're like younger generations, myself included, I'm not even patronizing here, we're so exposed to nudity and sex, we can't live without it now. And we think it's a part of life, but it ain't. Like, my granddad, I've seen more nudity and sex in about an hour in one sitting than my granddad probably did in his whole life. Do you get what I mean? There's a problem there.
Well, I don't think there's a problem.
I
like looking at porn. I like looking at porn. Okay. I innocently just type in Pornhub and it shows me porn.
Michael, I'm not against sex. I'm not saying that I'm celibate. I'm not a monk, but I feel like addictions can lead people down a bad path. Like, honestly, bro, you could masturbate to the point where you can't see straight. Like, you're not even jizzing no more. It's just like you're beating your meat and you hit climax, but there's no cum. And that's the thing. That's why retention is so important, because it isn't about the climax. Climax and ejaculation are like two different things. So let's get it right from the go. Yeah. Let's get it right from the go. Semen is the most powerful elixir that we can produce. It's more powerful than blood. It's more powerful than H2O. You know, it's powerful, right? Because it produces life. If women are the soil and the vessel and the portal that bring life into the world, we as the men are the seed, right? And that seed is the starting point. So imagine it like a metaphor. The women are the light bulb and our semen is the electricity. That's it. So where men are just spewing it everywhere, we're the only animal on the planet that just spews it everywhere. And it's not even like dignified. Like, it's not even like you're using it to its full potential. You're just spewing it. And this is mad because no other animal on the planet does that. You don't see a lion walking around just spewing his semen everywhere. It doesn't happen. You know what I mean? He'll keep hold of that. He will use that. And this is the thing about like the reality of what the powerful process of retention does. We actually reabsorb the energy, so we are using it to our full potential. Hence why I'm able to articulate myself, like I'm able to go to work, why I look so like healthy, right? And when you see a guy or a young man, a young boy, I see it all the time, and I'm not even pretending that I didn't used to do this. You can see they're very depleted. They haven't got the assertiveness to do things. So instead, they'll just watch pornography because it simulates the reality. They'll play computer games because it simulates the reality. But at the same time, they're broke, they're girlless, and they're ambitionless. And this is why this women are screaming for men, but they're not getting men because of the overly exposed shit. And this is the worst thing about it. Women are competing with other women to make men fall for the first trap, but the first trap is what's causing them to beat their meat. And it's like, what the fuck are we doing? I'm just saying it. I'm being serious here. Like it's and don't get me wrong, men aren't the only ones addicted to porn. Women can be addicted to porn just as bad. And you know, it's crazy because then you have like this high expectation versus your reality. And what I was trying to say before, you know, glorified masturbation, it ain't a thing. It ain't really a connection. Whereas intimacy is like a true connection. For example, I got locks in it. You know, I got locks. These didn't just grow like this. I have to have someone do my locks. And this is a real thing. Like these locks it's an intimate connection when someone does your locks for you. And it's the same with a girl. Like, have you women out there, right? Have you ever had a man wash your hair? And I mean that, like, you know, really lather it up, wash your hair for you. Even like, have you shared a shower? Do you get what I'm saying? Have you had a massage? Do you get what I mean? That's intimacy. That's true intimacy. Not just, oh yeah, stick it in, blast your jizz and go. Like it's nuts, right? I'm just saying.
No,
you get
right.
what I mean?
True intimacy is beautiful. It is. And it's fun than just sticking it in and blowing your load. Like it
Trust
you know,
me.
if you kind of feel it, don't you? You feel it, like your whole body and soul feels it when it's true intimacy. And also, like you said,
like
the whole washing your hair, it like that's not necessarily like a sexual thing, but it's an intimate thing, and that's lovely. Like it's a connection.
Yeah,
Intimacy
exactly.
doesn't exactly mean just taking your clothes off and having sex.
Yeah. Now here's the thing about, like, as well, untangible forces. When I talk about like retention and mindset and all of that good stuff, right? And women have this like down. They have this down. It's harder for men, again, because of the thirst traps, excuse me, and the instant rather than hard work, right? When you get instant, it triggers in you that wasn't so hard to do. So we don't do it again. We just go for the easier option. Whereas when you're going through a stage of growth, the last thing to grow on a fruit tree is the fruit. So women have this down to a T, because in your nature, you're prepared to carry a child for 9 months. You understand this naturally, whereas men, we don't really have the natural ability to undergo something like that. Do you get what I mean? And that's why going through a practice of retention is like partly like that. Like these weren't grown yesterday. This is like years. Do you understand? That's why it means so much to me spiritually. And that's why a lot of men with locks get it. Like we understand the power of the dreadlock. It isn't like a something you can just buy. You can't just get it like that. You have to earn this shit. And that's why it's so untangible force. People see it and they're like, yo, there goes Rastafari. And they don't know what they're actually doing when they see it, but it's because they know in their subconscious, there goes someone who actually has undergone patience, undergone consistency, undergone that kind of thing. So don't get me wrong, I'm not telling everyone to go out and be a Rastafari or grow your dreadlocks, but what I am saying is undergo a process that has untangible forces, because people can feel that, and you can't fake energy. You understand? People meet people in life and they can't pinpoint, why am I so attracted to that person? What is it about that person? And I'll tell you now, it's because they're undergoing a process that makes them attractive untangible forces. That's why most pregnant women are very attractive, especially to men, because we can see what we want in our lives. To someone, it isn't because they look good to you, like visually. It's because they embody something that you want in your life. And then when you do get with,
yeah, and then you know, energy rubs off and they teach you something that you need to learn, and then when their mission is done,
they move on, you move on, and you can't even explain it. It just happens. I owe every in my life to this, for the man I've. That's a fact. There's even a woman that actually introduced me to retention, which is surprising, because when women understand the power of semen, like I said before, if you're the light bulbs and semen is the electricity, it makes perfect sense for a woman to be attracted to a man with healthy semen and a lot of it, because if she consumes that, she's now lit, she's now woke, she's now taking on the energy transfer is done. And that's why, a God's honest truth, that's why, and I say this with all my heart, that's why broke men love to fuck and rich men don't so much. The women have the best sex with the brokers guys, because brokers guys ain't got nothing going for them other than semen. That's all they can produce. That's all they can provide. Whereas focused men retain that shit, aren't so thirsty, and get the job done in all other areas, all other aspects. And it's quite funny that.
There's a man that will
give away his life force so willingly, so fucking. Yeah, he's the best.
All he can give, that's all he can.
And as a plus for that, women feel empowered because they're getting free, and I mean this with all my mind, free semen. It ain't hard to get a thirsty motherfucker. It is not hard. You got selection, you got the pick of the bunch. But when you want a real man, when you want one that's gonna actually, you know, make a change to your life, they're gonna be hard to find. They're very rare. Yeah. Fucking crazy, ain't it? It's crazy, ain't it? It's crazy. It's the truth, though. It's the truth, though. I tell you what, yeah, the funny thing is, this is the God's honest truth. I've been with women that I've helped get promotions. I've been with women that I've helped get empowered simply by giving them my semen. I didn't know the power of semen until you start to connect the dots, until later on in life, you look back and just think, fucking hell, she had a good deal. She had a fucking good deal. And I swear to stupid, they know this. They 100% know this. They don't probably know it like I've just detailed it, but for some reason or other, when a woman is in love with a man and they're having regular sex, all of her friends notice it. Oh my God, girl, you got the glow. She's in love. She's in love. She ain't fucking in love. She's got semen flowing through her. That is a fact. Hence the light bulb and the electricity. She's glowing because she's got what fucking blokes have. She's got that new energy. Like, she's fucking a guy who's giving her semen. It's a fact. And then you go on, Liz, go on.
What if she's not getting the semen, but she genuinely is in love, like, or feels like she's in love? Or maybe it's the fact that she knows she's going to get the semen. I don't know.
It's really hard, Liz. It's really hard to explain. Like, but I know what I'm saying when I say this. Women who consume semen, right? They get this glow. They get this different mindset. They get this new buzz for life, and they can't live without obsessed with their man. Hence why sometimes they go a little bit crazy. In love, as Beyonce would put it. They, you know what I mean? Like, it becomes like no one else will do. Like, when a woman finds the bloke, no other bloke is on the radar. It's done. Like, the deal's done. And as soon as like the connection's over, they go through a phase of withdrawal, just like a drug addict. So very hard for them. But then, you know, like 2 weeks or 3 weeks, they bounce back. You know what I mean?
Literally.
But for bloke, yeah, but like if you're spewing your seed everywhere endlessly, it's like emptying your bank account, just broke all the time. Whereas the power of compounding day after day, really going through it, learning how to breathe, yeah, man, it's a powerful thing. It's just really hard. It's fucking hard, man. It's difficult, man.
I
No
wonder
pun
if it
intended.
feels like
Go on, Michael.
I have no idea because obviously I'm
Go on, Liz.
female, so I just think
I tell you
that
what it's like, Liz. It's like, imagine you have a lot of money and a lot of people are attracted to money. Let's just put it that way, yeah? If I was to keep giving you money for free, here, take my money, take my money, take my money, I'd be broke and I'd be a fool, right? That's
it. That's
the bottom line of it, right? Whereas if I was to keep it all, I'd be rich. I'd be well off. I'm taking care of myself. Now, forget the element, forget money. Let's look at it like nutrition. Just look at it like nutrition. You could be very well nutritioned. It's a magical thing.
I think it's something that is really like you should be proud that you do it because it's I don't think it's an easy thing to do. Like fasting. Some people crack.
Mm.
You know, it's hard. It's maintaining it and not giving in to the urge.
Just got a comment from one of my followers. See, I see you, girl. She's actually been following me for a time on TikTok. One of my first when I had like 1,000 followers. I'll tell you something about retention. Retention doesn't mean celibacy. It doesn't mean you don't have sex. Like semen control is the key, right? That's the key. You can still have sex, but just control your ejaculation. All right.
Wow.
Because you can still reach climax. Climax is a sensation. The hardest thing is the ejaculation. And that's why it also takes a level of mastery, self to know yourself, right? That's what it is. Women and men can experience sexual pleasure beyond measure. It's great. It just keeps on going. And if you don't believe me, check it out on YouTube. Like, do a bit more research than just listen to us here at the Elite Thinking Club. But yeah, once you master the art of tantric sex, like mirroring and synchronized breathing, you're connecting more than just physically. It's emotionally, it's spiritually. It's such a gateway. The connection is the gateway. Yeah, Liz, tantra.
It really is.
It's powerful, man. Spiritual.
There's a lot of awesome books
like
on tantric as well. And well, just yeah, about that as well, because that's really good, and I think it completely opens people's perceptions up to intimacy.
Yeah, it takes it away from the physical form almost as well.
100%.
Now, this is the scary thing. Talking about like the physical form. Once you make a connection as well, it's almost like a soul tie, like a soul contract. So you become like connected. You could be laying in bed and you know they're thinking about you because you're thinking about them. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
it's like an
soul
energy,
connections
like a
are
power.
amazing. Like,
yeah, totally.
Yeah. And that's not even with like, you don't even have to have sex really to have that. When you become like, what's the thing they call oh man, I don't know how else to what's that film Twilight? Wolf becomes connected to the daughter of his girl.
Oh, he marks her. He puts like a mark on her.
Yeah, but it's like, oh man, what's that thing called? Imprint.
Oh,
yes, Serene
imprint.
669.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes,
The imprint.
yes.
Yeah, the imprints. When you imprint on a person, that's like fucking powerful. I'll tell you a story though. God's honest truth. I became addicted to a person. Like addicted. I could not separate my my connection, and I knew that I had to. Do you get what I mean? Like, I knew it was time for me to move on, but we were so imprinted. It was the hardest thing, and the universe knows that. I say the universe, whatever your spiritual belief, but time to move on. So in order for me to move on, it made the person have to hurt me so much that I couldn't let myself go back. Do you get what I mean? Because we tried everything else. I tried everything else. I even went to a shamanic healer and asked them to cut the contract, the soul contract, and even that didn't work. So yeah, the person has to hurt you so much that you can't forgive yourself. If you do, ends up sad, to be fair. And that's only ever, but it had to happen.
That was deep.
Mad thing. Yeah, proper. But that's part of the spiritual journey. I welcome everyone everywhere to the Elite Thinking Club, by the way. Like, I know you guys are just tuning in. If you're watching us on the Facebook or the TikTok or the YouTube live, drop us a comment. Let us know where you out. And if you haven't done so already, hit the subscribe button. Like, we basically started from nothing. Now we're at like 320 subscribers. I fucking love that. There are people like us around. That's what's beautiful, you know? When you know what you know,
tribe,
and someone else knows it too. Yeah, and someone else knows it too. And even if you didn't know it, you kind of did know it. They just said it better. Do you get what I mean?
I love that. There's so many out there, so many of us out there. So we're on the same level.
Yeah, we're on 319 at the moment. 319 on YouTube. Yeah.
So
yeah.
Let's talk about something. Recent time. I don't know if you guys are all whatever, and I know it's all. Smith slapped Chris Rock on.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that.
Do you think that was real?
I'm glad you brought that up too.
Well, I think they might have come out with it not being real. Yeah, I reckon they would have come out by now to say it weren't real, but at the same time, it has got everyone talking about the. Is it Oscars? Was it Oscars?
The Oscars.
Yeah, nobody was watching it before. Yeah, nobody was watching any of it before. Now they are. But the annoying thing is, I really did like Will Smith. Now I'm going to throw away all of his stuff because that was a pussy slap. If he just went up and slapped him, like out fucking, just went and slapped him, then okay. But he kind of tried to hide it that he was going to do it. So it was like a bitch slap. So
at first
I can't respect anybody. Choreographed.
I thought to myself, hold on. If I wasn't, I was just a bloke. I don't know many blokes that would walk up to another bloke and that was going to be violent. And most blokes I know would go, boof. So
yeah.
Did he just slap him? Really?
Yeah. And that's maybe it was a slap because he thought
I thought, oh, it's a joke. It's like, yeah. And then I thought, oh, maybe he slapped because it comes across as deemed as less violent. But then I think I've become so kind of untrusting of a lot that I see in the media now that I know whether it's going to take a lot for me.
Yeah.
I mean, he should have been thrown out for doing it.
And I just
if that was anybody else,
exactly.
No.
Yeah, if that was anybody else, they would have been thrown out. So,
don't even get me started on if that was anyone else. Remember that conversation?
Double standards.
Like, scenes that we didn't really know if we should say on a live or not. But how much money do you need to be a pedo and get away with it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When they, do you get what I mean? It's shit like that really, really fucks me up because I'm like, don't get me wrong, I'm not a flipping. It's just it just came. We had that conversation, guys. We were like, we got to be careful how we say this. I'm done being careful about
Yeah.
You know, you think you should censor what you say. We're all too fucking... Yes. Like, it is time to address some serious room. Like, us, at least, what is it, assault? Will Smith assaulted Chris Rock, right? But because it's Will Smith, he can get away with slapping. Do you know what I'm saying? Or because it's Prince Andrew, he can get away with being a pedo. What the fuck? Like, are we these serious elephants in the room? And talking about like serious elephants in the room, got on TikTok, and someone said, has no one heard Biden talk about food? Now, Liz, I think it was you way back when we first started the Elite Thinking Club. It was like, sooner they're gonna start food. They're gonna start cutting back on.
I did, yeah.
Malnutritioned people can't think. Have you ever been so tired and underfed that you're doing things, but you're like zombie mode, but you're not thinking? Like, you just cannot put two and two together, even though it's so obvious. You just can't think. Do you get what I mean?
100%. Yep.
Cut the food, people will be down. Do you get what I mean? It's like,
and disorientated.
Crazy.
Don't logically, when you are malnutrition, you know, you don't really know what you don't know. You just don't concentrate properly. Your snap reactions are not going to be.
Yeah.
You know.
For real.
I lost sound. You have to go on with that.
We just heard you, Michael. You haven't lost sound. We just heard you. But now let him do his thing. Technical difficulty on Michael's end. No worries. What tea am I drinking? Ginger? No, this is just green tea tonight. Got asked what am I drinking? I'm drinking the green tea. Yeah.
I've got green tea.
Cheers, Liz.
On the green tea life. Yeah.
Green tea.
Here's.
Health and happiness. I actually signed up to Houchen the other day. I thought I'd give him a go. Yeah, I thought I want to get back in consistency when it comes to, and I saw they've been harping at me for years, I'm not gonna lie. And obviously because the phones pick up whatever they call it, and it knows I'm vegan, whoever the fuck's listening. No Vimto tonight, Shelley. I love that. Yes, I love that. You know, I love the Vimto. But yeah, it obviously started popping up in advertising, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to actually give it a go. So I've given it a go, and I'll be brutally honest, it is nice. It is nice, but what I find with these meal plans is it's not for all. Like, excuse me, my body type is different from someone else's, and I need more calories than someone else's. So even though they say it's like 26 meals in a bag, it isn't, because one meal is like 200 or 300 calories. I'm like, well, I need double that for a snack. Do you get what I mean? Like, how can you call that a meal? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I don't know if I get, because I would just, it's.
You know, Liz, I'll be honest, it's just for lunch. I only do it for lunch, but and then I sit here at night eating this chocolate. No never. I'm like that, but I start living without my chocolate. No worries.
Why do we do that to ourselves? We're like really strict at breakfast, or like do protein shake, like minimal lunch, decent dinner, and then it gets past a certain time in the evening, chocolate, ice cream, biscuits, crisps.
Yeah, snacky.
Or is that just me?
Just want to give another shout out to one of my followers. You, bro. Blessings. Guys, you know how we've been doing this for a year and a half now? Well, no, not a year and a half. Over a year, isn't it? We've been doing this a long time.
Yeah, just over a year, yeah.
There's something about the people at the start, isn't it? Like when we would first go, remember our first episode, which, by the way, never been aired, but I have recorded. Maybe in like 10 years, we'll all look back on it, and it was just
I loved it. It felt
was having a conversation,
empowering, and it felt so natural, and it was it was exciting. It was an exciting time because it felt like it was the start of something.
Yeah, but here's the, it already existed. People that we have, like, I don't like the term woke because it makes us feel like we're better. If it makes us feel like, do you get what I mean? I don't believe in age. I believe in stage. Yeah, but I believe in stage. So when you reach that stage of wokeness or
being awake, what's
going on,
being awake.
Yeah, it's like your stage, and when you reach that stage, I'm not gonna say lonely, but you just need other people who get it. Do you get? I just need to get it because
I did feel lonely for. That's why I loved it when you created this, because I was then like, oh my God, I'm not the only one. And I kind of felt like, because you do when you are, you know, things, or you think about things and look into things that other people might not even second guess, think to look into, you do feel like you're kind of standing in the middle of a field on your own. And when you created this, I felt like I could see people coming up the hill across the field, and I was like, oh my God. It was great.
Standing in a field on your own. I know I always say it, but I'm still baffled at circles. Like, I am so baffled by, I'm like, who the fuck makes these things? Like, and how do they do it so secretly? How do they just pop up out of nowhere? Is it, it's crop circles, isn't it? Not cycles, crop circles.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I still love that. That's like one of the, you know, when you like people talk about the pyramids, or they talk aliens, or they talk about conspiracies and whatever. My favorite one, probably still to this day, is crop circles. And one is how we're not actually from Earth. Like, the human race isn't from Earth. It's like a giant ant farm to another being. So if we, you know, us as humans, some people have ant farms, don't they? Imagine us being an ant farm to another being. And the reason why Area 51 is blocked off to our exit, it isn't some bunker with alien race. It's actually the exit. It's the big door to get out of this.
So we need to go to Area 51 then. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
That's where. Okay.
And break out. Yeah.
Oh, I'd love to be. Still, I would love to be like sneak inside. Find out all the information. I should be a secret spy.
Weren't it us, Liz, that had the conversation about waters in the UK?
Yeah, a
lot of bunkers that are sealed by like walls, and people are signed to secrecy about what goes on or what went there. And it's like, why are you sworn to secrecy? Like, come on. And now we live in a day and age where all mobile phones monitor what we say. So we're vulnerable just mentioning it now. But then, and we're not held accountable. We didn't sign nothing. We can have the conversation because we actually don't know. But if we were what went down, then yeah, I probably, because they'd hunt me down quicker than you could say alien invasion. So you know how you get like footage. You get footage of people walking with gorillas and chilling with lions and swimming with sharks. I don't think that animals are as dangerous as movies and media make out.
Okay.
So therefore, I also don't think that aliens are as dangerous as movies and media make out. Yeah, they have potential to harm, but I don't think they are.
But so do humans.
Harmful.
I kind of
basically
feel
I would give them the benefit of the doubt.
When we're being told to believe in the media, or something's being portrayed, and it's kind of conditioning our minds in a movie or cartoon or what have you, I kind of feel like I don't want to follow what they're trying to imply, because it's all kind of emotive and fear driven, and conditioning as well. So the whole Will Smith thing, I felt like it was like, look over here, because we don't want you to see what's over here. You know, so I kind of when everybody started, I kind of felt like I don't even want to acknowledge the Will Smith thing, because what is it over here that from? And it's like when you say about the animals, are we taught to fear them? Because actually we would be more powerful and stronger if we were to unite with them, or, you know, connect with them. So, yeah.
Yes. 100%. So animals are curious by nature, hence why we are too. It's when you had your fingers burned, obviously you become very reluctant to do it again, right? So I truly believe this. More love, joy, happiness, and good times can only have a knock-on effect. And because that knock-on effect, the human body emits energy when it's in a good place, right? So it's like from your core outward. And when you're very sad and low and depressed and shitty, you turn like a cold blue energy. Do you get what I mean? Like your body isn't emitting the good shit. So, and that too is infectious, because obviously it's a knock-on effect and things like that. Now, if we all, because I talk about collective consciousness, you guys know that collective consciousness, if we all were emitting energy at one time, with all the animals on the planet too, I truly believe we would unlock some superpower, like telekinesis, like you could move things with energy. You know what I mean? Like, I truly believe that. Like, have you ever seen those? I don't know if it's an illusion or if it
lift people up with their fingertips,
or people can almost telecommunicate, like
telepathic.
You know when you're thinking of someone and then they call you and you're like, oh my God, I was just thinking about you.
Yes, I have that all the time.
That's like, yeah, that's not a myth. That's like a legit thing that we have, but we have to tap into it. We haven't been taught it. So if as a child you were raised and saw everyone's hands, you wouldn't know no different. So you would do your utmost to focus your energy to mimic what you see. Right? Now, because it's like monkey see, monkey do. So if we live in a world where people are already communicating with the power, children wouldn't even speak. They would try and tap into that thing. And this is it. I actually believe they've born with it. Children, and they're doing it constantly to each other when they're babies and when they're like doing it. But then because they're growing up and they're mimicking what we're doing, which is a desensitized version of the superpower, they stop using it and we stop using it. So in actual fact, we're doing the reverse. Like, it's so messed up because we're born with the power. Use it, we lose it. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, it gets weakened. Yeah.
Who would have thought I don't agree with it? That's a surprise, isn't it?
Well, it's good. I'm just open to it all, really. I like to just.
Well, Michael, go ahead.
Well, there is. These are different views. I did once read, and I do kind of believe we only can't fly because we believe we can't fly, because we're rooted to believe that we can't. So because we're led our whole lives to believe it, which is why when I have a kid, I want to try and just tell it can fly, but say you can't tell anyone, and it can only happen when nobody else is watching.
No, you can't
and then just hopefully one day they'll just fly.
You're going down a route there where you are basically going to teach your child to keep a secret and not tell anybody. Like, you can see where I'm going with this. It's not good, because then if somebody else
and it's going to jump off a building one day,
and Yeah, that's just, you've got to be careful there. I mean, it's a great concept.
And the second one about the phone call.
Yeah,
it does seem weird sometimes when you think about someone they ring.
yeah.
But how many times have you thought about someone and they haven't rung? Because you never think about that side. I think about people all day long, and I never
think about that side.
And yeah, my brother Steve. Oh, Steve's ringing. But I just thought about 99 people before him.
Michael, to think of someone, but to feel someone is different. It's like a sense. It's like a sixth sense. I can think of people right now. Like I could list off 20 people and I just say their name in my head, or like visualize them as I last saw them in my head, or a memory of them in my head. But to actually feel someone, that's what I'm talking. That feel.
Yeah. Well, this is what I'm saying. It's called what's it called? Something bias. So information bias, I think it's called. Where when you look at something, like a guy at work does it all the time. When he wants to prove a point, he'll go, "Oh, this is true." I'll go, "No, it's not." He'll go on Google and he'll go past 20 different other facts to get to his one and go, "Look, see, it says it on Google."
I know what you mean.
I know so many people do that. I know so many people that do that.
Yeah, you're right. It's like a bias. Yeah, you want to be biased because you want to prove that what you're talking. You know, like I always say, if you live it, you know it. Yeah, if you live it, you know it. So there was a time in history when collective consciousness actually spiked. That was during 9/11 and when Princess Diana died. So it isn't that we can't do it, because we have done it. When we as a human race focus all our energy on one particular collective consciously, we shift energy. It happens that we emit. Because I know I mentioned him earlier, but Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, he even talks about the mastermind. So in essence, us, the Elite Thinking Club, we're putting in multiple thoughts into one, and obviously all the followers as well tuning in. We're creating an energy. It's like a bubble. It's like it's the mastermind contributing all of that focus into one place. Now, if you could have hundreds and thousands of people doing the same thing, therefore it creates a bigger mastermind. And then this is the biggest thing. If you know about the power of collective consciousness and you want to remain in power, wouldn't everybody else destructive
mastermind,
whilst you don't participate in that and you tap into a master? And this is like
always screaming
about power to the people. We need to unite. We need to come together because we know how powerful we are.
Yeah.
Like the film Bug's Life. Do you get what I mean? When the grasshoppers, and when the ants finally get it, they outnumber however much. Yeah, for real.
We are.
If you've watched us this far, guys, and you haven't hit the like button and you hit the subscribe,
ever
miss out on our lives. Hit the notification button and you'll never miss out on our lives, because we're, the Elite Thinking Club. We're going to keep doing this because we absolutely love it.
We are on Twitter and Facebook too. Most people are on them.
Facebook as well if you're on there, and Discord now. We actually have our private Discord. So if you actually want to chat to us, like message us, get on the Discord, because that's the community hub.
And we're almost at my tattoo.
I know. I was going to say earlier. I was going to say, how much is it? Like 180 or something left, and then you get the tattoo.
Yeah. Well, we're on 318 at the moment. We're just lost somewhere.
Are you actually going to
bastard?
Are you actually going to go ahead with it? Like, are you not worried now?
I'll do it. I said, well, I have to now because I've said it.
Yeah, I love that.
My gosh.
Reach 500 subscribers. When we Michael's going to get an elite thinking club tattoo, so let's make it happen. It's going to be great.
It's basically going to be that. That's where it's going to be. That's what it's going to be.
And if we get 1,000 subscribers, we are off to. Oh God!
Oh yeah. I thought he was going to bring that in. She was going to do an episode in a bikini.
No, no.
That's what you said.
No, we were going to.
You did.
Is it
We've got it
Canuden?
recorded.
Canuden, I think.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
Canuden,
where we're going. Yeah, we're going to film it live in the dark. And
was it 1,500 bikini then?
If we reach that,
She definitely said it though, didn't she?
A live episode at Canuden Church. So for anyone tuning in or watching, wherever you're watching, Facebook, TikTok, Canuden Church is a historical witchcraft
place when people would meet
and they would summon energy, do wizardry and witchcraft. It isn't always a negative thing. A lot of people might hear those words and be like, oh my God, sorcery. But if you're signs and you like astrology, in essence, you are practicing sorcery because that's like a lot to do with it. So Anne Boleyn, one of Henry VIII's wives, Canuden in Rochester, in Essex, and this in the past. When we reach 1,000 subscribers, we're all going to do a live episode down there. We're going to go at night during a moonlit night, and we're going to walk the church of Canuden. I'm obviously I'm absolutely shitting myself about it because I've been there before and I could feel the eeriness and the energy, and it's not something you should really tamper with.
I'm weirdly excited just to experience it, and I'm kind of excited to get freaked out because I think when you have moments like that, that's when you most feel alive. Like when I go into the sea. Okay, people say to me, oh my God, you went early in the morning into the sea. I'm like, yeah, it's a great feeling. And funnily enough, one of my friends the other day said to me, I bet it makes you feel like you're alive. You know you're alive. And it's true. It's those moments of like that makes us feel. So I'm excited at feeling like that. And I'm excited at being basically scared the absolute balls out of. Because if you say it creeps you out, Jules, then it's definitely going to creep me out.
Canuden Church it's on the top of a hill, and it's very like, and it's in a graveyard. It's got a surrounding graveyard, so you know people have been buried there. So
it's just you have to get out of your car and go through these gates.
And I won't lie to you, it definitely has this eerie energy about it. Now, if or positive, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I was 100% comfortable being there. But
it will be interesting.
I am sitting here today, alive, having done it. That's a fact. I would not get out of that car alone. Yeah,
but it's the same as like if you turn the light off downstairs, you feel like something's behind you when you're running up the stairs. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
it's all in your head.
It is in your mind. It is a mind thing, isn't it?
I love him so much because he always.
Don't you think, Michael? Don't you think, Michael, that you have that? You have like a sick sensing something's not right or something's dodgy, and that's why we are whatever we're picking up, our senses are this energy that we need to get the hell out of there.
Can you tell?
But sometimes your sixth sense is a little bit off.
Yeah.
Can you tell when someone's watching you? Like, can you feel their stare?
Normally,
sometimes, I mean, they've done it scientifically.
That's your sense, yeah? So when someone is staring at you and you sense it, you obviously feel it and you look, yeah? So when you're running up those stairs and you feel like something's behind you, Michael, something's behind you, bro.
Or your mind just like your mind is one of the most powerful things in the world. You can imagine shit. So if your mind says that something's there, in your mind something is. It's like people that take trips, and I know a guy that was fighting Mike Tyson. He wasn't really fighting Mike Tyson, but his brain was telling him it was. So sometimes your brain is wrong.
Yeah, there is that, and yeah, of course.
Yeah, I didn't know that life isn't.
I feel like it is.
Yeah, it is really. It is.
Do you want to know something about life, though? You know this already. It's so like consistent with the ups and downs. Like it's never failed to really kick my ass and then make me feel on top of the world again. So many times. It's just constant. It's so consistent at being up and down, like, and it's exhausting sometimes to the point where I just think, like, what's the fucking point? Like, but then it has its magical moments, like now, where we have the Elite Thinking Club, have these conversations, and it's all worth it. We have our moments of highs and lows, and life is such a fucking
roller coaster.
It's such a yeah. Why did we choose it? I don't know, but yeah.
Well, I didn't. My fucking parents did.
I know. I was just you took it out of my mouth. Took the words right out.
I actually heard,
and then they died and left me. Pricks.
I heard someone actually said that we are souls. Yeah, we are like watching Earth, and when you see your parents, you decide that you want to come to Earth as their child. That's your point choice. So there's billions of souls out there all waiting.
What did I do wrong with mine?
Want to go and the thing is, you chose this life before you lived it. That's the point.
You didn't know what life, I was.
You didn't know what life you were going to get, but you chose the parents you got. You were like, yeah, I think I'll give it a go. I will be their offspring and put me in the body that she produces, and let's see how it goes.
Well, I don't think
what a stupid idea that was.
Clue what I was doing. And I still don't now, all these years in, winging it all the way.
Yeah. Shout out to the winging it crew.
Yeah, woo!
Best way to be.
I'm like a top fan and top member of that crew.
For real.
Yeah. If you understand too much, you'd be scared. So I'd rather just wing it all the time.
Yeah.
That is a very good point, Michael. That is sometimes what I believe, that's why we have information withheld from us. Because if we were to know it, it's very suicidal actually to think when you know what the fuck's going on sometimes.
Yeah. I wonder how many times we've been so close to annihilation. So it's probably a good idea we don't know.
Yeah, like I wouldn't want to know if there's a comet bypassing Earth and it was only like 100 miles out. I'd be like, that's how vulnerable
because if you did know, but if you did know, it would change you. You would do things differently, wouldn't you? Whereas if you don't know, you are then being who you truly are, I suppose, because you haven't got that element of.
God. Freedom is an illusion, but ignorance is bliss.
Apparently, Biden, I don't know if he got drunk or he just got confused, but he was on about bombing another fucking country. Bless you. And the advisors were like, no, don't listen to him, he's drunk. So they almost went to war because he just lost his fucking mind.
I'm sorry, he scares me because what the hell is he even doing running a country? Like, how have we got to this point in time where every time I watch him, I actually feel sorry for him. I think he needs to be cared for. He needs a carer. He doesn't need to be up there mumbling, jumbling. It doesn't make sense.
If he was a horse,
it's like we're witnessing. Yeah, it's like, well, I'm not saying that, but like, Like, it's like we're witnessing someone, you know, who has dementia or what have you, and it's really like I feel really uncomfortable actually watching him. Really uncomfortable.
Yeah, but
I feel like it's
we've
wrong.
said this in previous episodes that some leaders or some people elected into power aren't real leaders. They're just puppets, aren't they?
Yeah,
they're just there. They're just put in place.
But
it doesn't matter if they
I feel like
make a
he's
decision
poorly
or not. That's
though.
wrong.
I feel like he's not with it, and he's old, and
yeah, but some people would say the same as Bush. Some people would say the same as, you know,
with Boris. Yeah,
Boris, yeah. He's just...
Well, a lot of people say that he's a buffoon. A lot of people say Boris is a buffoon, and to be fair, I don't.
I hate that we call him Boris. He ain't my friend. I don't know him on first name terms. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just
that's
really
because I don't respect him enough to call him Mr. Johnson.
Prime Minister.
He's a fucking idiot. But if you were to talk about clones and people like that, I think that they're clones. I'd agree that them kinds of clones. Boris and I forgot his name now. The old cunt in the president.
People, the British
Joe
people
Biden.
are so like...
That's the
how are we?
Yeah,
do you want to know something? Yeah, to be so resilient, how long till our threshold is actually met? I mean, how long is it till people actually snap at the bullshit that goes on? I see a video of Big Ben being refurbished. It took however much, like 80 million to do it, and people are just like, I cannot believe that we've got people living on our streets, and all you want to do is spend 80 million to refurb a fucking clock.
That makes me so angry.
You know, they built a fucking statue of Margaret Thatcher in London. London didn't want it, so they brought it to Grantham, and they paid something stupid like £1 million to have this fucking statue. While people they were complaining about giving me universal credit, and they're putting a fucking £1 million statue up.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a joke.
What the fuck is that?
It's a joke. I know.
Who gives a fuck about Margaret Thatcher statue? Margaret Thatcher statue.
Thatcher statue. No one gives a fuck. Yeah. No one actually gives a fuck. No one's gonna walk past it and be like, "Oh, look, there's Maggie Thatcher." You know what? I'm in Southend, yeah, and there's a statue of Queen Victoria overlooking the estuary. Don't get me wrong; it's actually monumental. It's brilliant. I think, okay, cool, that's cool because it is something nice to look at. I'm like, that is pretty cool. But at the same time, it wouldn't change my life if it was there or not. Sit there, it stands there doing nothing.
I absolutely
same as this one.
Saying. It would not change my life if it wasn't there. That is a brilliant saying. It's so true.
£4 million.
So
yeah,
I see one of Churchill and it was nice, but again, I want as much as I like Churchill, I want £1 million spent on the statue.
Yeah, is it not enough to have their faces printed on notes, let alone have a building? That's like getting a new tombstone in multiple different places. What's the point? It doesn't do anything for us.
But surely those in power, like that cannot be high up on a priority list for society and for the community when there are people out there literally unable to survive on the low income that they've got. People on the streets, people. I just can't get things like that.
It is heartbreaking.
Get signed off.
I don't understand either.
They get signed off by the councils and the MPs, and they just plummet this money into it. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Else,
so
they spent all of that money.
Hang on, before you, can I just say something?
Michael, go on.
Go for it.
I'm sorry, it's our connection. You spoke for a little bit longer, and then I was like, I know, I'll wait for her. So, grab from cancel. If you ever watch this, you're fucking idiots. How dare you spend £1 million on a fucking statue?
It is crazy.
Anyway, carry on.
It's crazy.
Okay.
Like there's a guy. Sorry, Liz. Go on, Liz.
Yeah, I've completely where I was going. Sorry.
Sorry.
There's a homeless dude that like local residents have all chipped in to try and get him back on his feet, but do you know what I mean? He doesn't even need $1 million. Just give him something like 12 grand, so £1 a month for a year to give him enough to at least some form of like startup, if you will. Do you get what I mean? And if you're spending $1 million on a flipping statue, do you know how much that $1 million could spread to people that bridge? They just need that year to get their shit together and get back into society. Then they could contribute to society. For all we know, that one individual could be the mind that we need to spark to create a new sustainable energy, or a life-changing tablet or vaccine or something that really fucking saves us. Like, it still bugs me that we're letting in a lot of who, granted, need help, but we also have our own people that need help.
Absolutely.
Like the whole skin, live in your house for so much per month. It's like, we've got homeless people in our streets.
Yeah.
Why won't you pay us that to let them in our house? Do you know what I mean? And
you want to make the world better.
People...
Simple as that. You start local.
Yeah, I mean, world change starts at home, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we've got veterans on this fucking street.
It's just...
And they're on about
crazy.
Different people.
Yeah. That's another chat for another episode, guys.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Well, I don't want to end it on a one like that, but this is the Elite Thinking Club, and it is what we're all about, critical thinking. You know how it is, and you know, you've been following us a while, and if you haven't done so already, you should hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell, especially if you just watched this whole episode, because this is what we do. We literally critical think, and we're very, very, very happy to have you. So join the club, all right? Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, Discord,
Twitter,
YouTube, TikTok, Twitter. We're on it.
The list is getting big, isn't it? We're everywhere. Instagram. Did you say Instagram?
Free the others. You know,
OnlyFans soon. We'll be on OnlyFans.
Together we are stronger.
Right.
Are we? Are we? Hold on a minute.
Which bit are you? You're a little bit behind, so I don't know where you are.
I just heard OnlyFans.
You said together we are stronger. Oh, yeah, we can be on OnlyFans.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, I'll do it if you two
Again,
do.
that is probably another chat. OnlyFans. That's another chat for another episode. Right, Liz, Michael, is there anything else you want to add to the episode before we say goodbye?
No.
Other than look forward to next week.
Fuck Gramps on cancel.
Power to the people.
Okay. All right, power to the people. Fuck Grant from council. But thanks for tuning in, guys. Like, honestly, without you guys, we wouldn't even have a show. Thanks for the views, likes. Thanks for the shares. Just thanks for communicating. Thanks for comments as well. We love to hear back from you. If there's anything during this episode that really got you interested, and we literally only spoke for it for a short period, but you'd like us to speak to it on it some more, just let us know. Happy to do the episode. So, from me, Michael, and Liz, everyone everywhere, peace and love.